What's up, guys? I'm Cody Brockway, and you are back here for another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. That's right. We are back here once again with the tracking camera, because for whatever reason it wants to track me. I don't know, but you're back here for another episode of Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Anyway, that's how we do, and what we are doing today is we're taking another trip back with Father Tiresias into the prog sphere once more, as we like to do so often on the channel. We are talking about live albums. In particular, we are narrowing it down, and we are looking at some of my favorite progressive rock live albums that I deem to be absolutely essential to the genre. And I only went one per band because there's so many bands that have released so many great live albums. Like Genesis have like 5 amazing live albums, and I went with only one of them. Of course, that was hard to do, but it is my favorite live album of all time, so we'll get to that at the end. But so essential live prog albums. What would you guys pick? Am I in line with your choices? What would you add to this list? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. We're going to start off with some American awesomeness from Frank Zappa, 1977. This is Zappa in New York. This is the Terry Bozzio lineup of the band. I believe you got Eddie Jobson on this as well. But just awesome. You know, titties and beer, I promise not to come in your mouth. Big Leg Emma. Of course, if you buy the CD box set version of this, which I have as well, it is the expanded edition, and it has more songs. So you get, on the vinyl here, you get Honey, Don't You Want a Man Like Me, the Illinois Enema Bandit, and of course, all of side 4 is the Purple Lagoon. But this version is the re-edited version, so you get a couple of extras like you get Cruising for Burgers, you get Black Napkins, the Black Page Part 1, to go with the Black Page Part 2, which is on here as well. It's just really awesome. You know, the Zappa band just absolutely killing it in 1977. Zappa in New York. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. And next up, we've got Jethro Tull from 1978. Of course, the tour was 77, 78. This is when they were doing the Heavy Horses record. But my God, is this live album so good. Just imagine what it would have been like to see them at the time. I imagine that some of you actually did. So if you did see Jethro Tull in the 70s, let me know in the comments. I wasn't born for another 20 years yet. But this is the original LP. Of course, I do have the expanded Steven Wilson CD, DVD combo version, which is awesome. But on here you get No Lullaby, Sweet Dream. You get their edited version of Thick as a Brick that they were playing live at the time, so they cut it down to 13 minutes. Just some of the live versions on here are just absolutely breathtaking, awesome. Minstrel in the Gallery, Skating Away on the Thin Ice of the New Day. The whole record is really great, and this is really just a nice snapshot of a moment in time when Barrymore Barlow was playing drums with them. Martin Barre was on guitar. Awesome band, so good. And this is just like, it just kind of encapsulates that whole era of brilliance from them bursting out. Jethro Tull, awesome, killer stuff. So absolutely essential to any live album collection, but in particular essentially prog. That's right. And another one is some of you guys go, this band isn't prog. BS, bullcrap, whatever YouTube will allow me to say. Bullshit. There you go. Absolutely awesome prog band from America. This is Kansas and 2 for the Show. And I could also recommend you to get the expanded CD edition. But for you vinyl lovers, this is the original one going on here. And it's just as awesome. The version of Paradox on here is just, wow. You know, Steve Walsh actually singing higher than the record. That is unheard of. Usually bands would opt for different notes, to sort of be easier on their voice, but he is actually singing higher than the record on here, on that track anyway. Fantastic. And of course you get my favorite Kansas song, Icarus, Born on the Wings of Steel. So good. And on side 2 you get Portrait He Knew going into Carry On Wayward Son, and then Journey from Mariabron. Oh my God, the version of that on this album is absolutely blazing. Absolutely killer. Mysteries and Mayhem. And of course you got one for the ladies with Dust in the Wind. Pretty cool. And it ends off with Magnum Opus. Man, can you get better than that? Oh, we're going to try here with these next couple of records, but that is awesome. It is so good. Another one of my all-time favorite live albums comes from the band that is on my shirt when they were actually on the tour for this album. It is Pink Floyd, and this is Pulse from 1995, from the 1994 tour, released in 95. This box set was reissued in the 2010s, and it's the entire concert where they do a lot of their newer songs on the beginning. You get Learning to Fly, What Do You Want From Me, a couple of other cuts from Division Bell. You get Shine on Your Crazy Diamond, you get Astronomy Domine, but then once you get to the later half, I guess they would have gone for a break and then came back and they played the entire Dark Side of the Moon live, top to bottom, for the first time since, I believe, 1974. But they're doing it absolutely flawlessly on this album. I used to work at Tim Hortons. You Canadians will know what that is. And I used to be the baker there, and so many days I would go in and just put on this live album and just let it repeat over and over for my whole shift. That happened so many times. I probably made them all sick of it, but I don't care. Pink Floyd, Pulse, the David Gilmour era of Pink Floyd, absolutely just killing it live. I bet a lot of you guys watching this probably saw it in concert too, so if you did, let me know how it was, because I've only got DVDs and live records to go off of, even though I've seen Roger Waters, but he wasn't anything to do with this lineup. And he wasn't anything to do with this next record either. It is Rush, recorded in Toronto at Massey Hall, a place I have been tons of times, and will be again in a few weeks for sure. But this is 1976, All the World's a Stage. They were promoting 2112 at the time. Absolutely one of the greatest balls-to-the-wall rockin' live records ever. Progging it up, but they were still playing, just really heavy rock. They were just absolutely killing it, just the three of them here. And a great live album. If you haven't heard it, I'd highly recommend you check it out. You get Bastille Day, Anthem, Fly By Night, In the Mood. Of course, they're kind of like a medley of tracks, the two of them together. Something for Nothing, Lakeside Park, they do 15 minutes of 2112. They cut out one segment of it, but you'll have to check it out and find out which one that is. Regardless, it is absolutely very impactful. And you get Bytor and the Snow Dog, In the End, Working Man, Finding My Way, What You're Doing. Fantastic live album. And it's them there's no overdubs, anything, no funny business like that. It's just pretty much live off the floor. And look at that photo of them there. I don't know if you can see that with the glare, but yeah, they're just having the time of their lives, Absolutely awesome. And recorded in Toronto. So cool. Love being from Canada. Rush, All the World's a Stage. And next up, we've got one of the all-time classic live albums. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Gosh, some of the versions of these songs, you get all of Carnival 9, all half hour of it. You get Tarkus with a little bit of Lucky Man and such in between. And Confusion Will Be My Epitaph, Greg Lake busting out the acoustic guitar. Just all of Tarkus and all of Carnival 9. What else could you want? You get other songs on here too, but by gosh, so good. And it's all three of these guys at the absolute peak of their powers. Excuse me. This band being the absolute zenith that was Emerson, Lake and Palmer at the time. I'm joking away here. Just a killer live album. And once again, no overdubs. I believe, anyway. It doesn't sound like there is. It just sounds like they're playing perfectly live, and it is absolutely killer. All three guys just firing on all cylinders. Excellent stuff. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. And you longtime followers of Brockways Vinyl Bites would probably remember the old videos that had that reading from the Star Wars, Star Trek, whatever intro where it said, "Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ladies and gentlemen, Brockways Vinyl Bites." There you go. And so we're going to go ahead to another 70s album. I think all of these, for the most part, have been the 70s. But Gentle Giant, Playing the Fool. Again, another album that just got remixed, remastered, expanded. A great job they did on that too, especially with the Atmos mix that they put in the new version of this. But we're going back to the old version. Excerpts from Octopus, man, it's worth it just for that alone. But just the same, Proclamation, Funny Ways, The Runaway Experience, So Sincere. This is so good, man. It really is so good. And anyone that I know that actually saw Gentle Giant back in the day said it was a breathtaking experience. My own father saw them more than once in the late 70s. And he said everyone in the band was trading off instruments. So the Shulman brothers would switch to guitar with Gary Green, and then all of a sudden one guy would be playing a saxophone, the other would be playing keyboards, and they would all switch, and one guy would be singing, and they would just literally, the whole band would shift gears, and it was so cool. I wish I could have seen it, but I'm happy that I get to live vicariously through this live recording. I believe it's the only live album we have from them, but it is absolutely an iconic one. Very good. And before we get on to the final two, number 3, I suppose, is one that I don't have a physical copy of. Excuse me, I need a drink here. Just give me a second. Oh, yes. So one that I don't have a physical copy of, but I will soon, I'm hoping, is Renaissance. Absolutely fantastic band fronted by the awesome prog woman, Annie Haslam, and that's Renaissance from 1973-74 at Carnegie Hall. Really cool. And that performance of Scheherazade at the end of that thing, oh my God. Absolutely. Live, ending off the live album with 2 25-minute pieces, absolutely fantastic. Just killing it live. And they were a great live band. And I believe she's still performing with them to this day, actually. So all the power to her, Renaissance. And hopefully I'll have a physical copy that I can hold up sometime soon. But I do enjoy it. I don't own it yet, but I will. And it's great. Renaissance at Carnegie Hall. Excellent stuff. Then the final two. I almost went with Yes Songs for this. Of course, that was probably the most iconic one because of it came out in 1973. But, I love everything about it. But to me, the one that has kind of reigned supreme is this one. Yes, I'm talking about Yes, and we're talking about Progyny. This is highlights from 72, so it is the same tour that the Yes Songs album was recorded. The reason I went for this was because the sound is better. Otherwise, Yes Songs is easily on par with this. Because the performance was just amazing, but the production and the mixing of this is a lot better, I find. But of course, again, the original Yes Songs is a snapshot in time. I get it. But I'm going for Progyny. Excellent stuff. You get all of the Close to the Edge album live spread out on this 1, 2, 3 LP extravaganza. Excellent. And you get Rick Wakeman doing his excerpts from The Six Wives of Henry VIII, which is absolutely just awesome. Roundabout. The Roundabout on here was actually recorded at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Ontario. So there's a high chance that my father was actually at that gig. But pretty cool. Maple Leaf Gardens is no longer Maple Leaf Gardens. It is now a plaza. It has a Subway sub shop in it. Yeah. Oh, the state. Oh, crazy. Yours Is No Disgrace. Clap and Mood for a Day. Got to give Steve Howe a little some there, right? Heart of the Sunrise. I've Seen All Good People. And then, of course, the whole Close to the Edge album live. I mean, just fantastic. And the sound is so good on here. This is how they brought Alan White into the band. Excellent, excellent. And if you're a Yes fan and you haven't heard this, this is essential to your collection. It is amazing, and it absolutely showcases the band playing just at their best and sounding amazing. Excellent stuff. Now, I did give a little bit of a nod to Genesis at the beginning of this video, didn't I? Being that they're my favorite band of all time, you knew that they were going to be on this list anyway, but which one is it? Is it Genesis Live? Is it Nebworth from the 90s? Is it Three Sides Live? Is it Rome 2007? Or is it Seconds Out from 1977? Yes, it is! If you were wondering that it was Seconds Out, you got it right. My favorite live album of all time. It is just, wow, man, so good. This is the first live album with Phil Collins singing. Of course, on Genesis Live from 1973, he's just playing drums and doing a bit of background vocals, whatever. But Peter Gabriel was obviously still very much in the band. This is after Peter exited. This is from the Wind and Wuthering tour and the Trick of the Tail tour. This is a mix of the both. Steve Hackett's still firmly in the band, at least till they decided to go and mix the album for release. But he's on the cover. Pretty cool. What a great live album, though. I mean, my gosh, the performances of the songs on here, excellent. Squonk, The Carpet Crawl, of course, shortened down. For some reason, they changed the name from The Carpet Crawlers to The Carpet Crawl. You got Robbery, Assault, and Battery, Afterglow, First the Fifth, I Know What I Like, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the closing section of the musical box, and then you get to side 3. This is a double album, folks. Yep. You get to side 3, and you get Supper's Ready in its entirety. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, actually, Peter Gabriel tells a story of going to see them when they would have been touring around this time. And he goes, it was kind of weird to see, it was weird but great, but it was weird to see Phil Collins singing the songs that I wrote. And then, of course, the side 4 of the album closes off with The Cinema Show, Dance on a Volcano, and Los Endos. Pretty cool. So we're ending this off with Genesis Seconds Out for the essential progressive rock live albums video that we're doing here today. Of course, there's going to be some. I know that you guys are going to have some opinions, so be respectful and let me know what you guys have to say in the comments. I absolutely want to hear from you guys. Add in whatever you see fit to this list. But this is just a great essentials list, I think. I mean, I would recommend these to anyone who wanted the essential prog rock live albums. So here you go. You asked, sort of. Either way, you're going to receive it from me, Cody Brockway on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And a reminder that I am a proud owner of Second Chance Records in Caledonia, Ontario, Canada. We have a website, which is www.secondchancerecords.ca. I repeat, www.secondchancerecords.ca. And we ship everywhere in the world, globally, for a $20 flat fee, of course. And that's a pretty good deal. So, yeah, anything you want, come check out our website. If you want to come visit us in the store, it is 20 Argyle Street North, Caledonia, Ontario, Canada. Dig it. Thanks so much for watching today. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time right here on Brockway's Vinyl Bites. And rock on!